Previously on the Diaries of Grandpa.
In the cold and rainy weather, the sounds of children and birthday songs intertwined. She had put on a Navy SEAL uniform, transforming herself into a sailor. Her friends, on the other hand, wore superhero costumes. Back then, children often attended birthday parties dressed as superheroes. I heard a murmur and footsteps outside our house. Then the doorbell rang. Everyone gathered in the middle of the house. While the adults chatted among themselves, my eyes searched for my grandfather. He wasn't around, even though it was his granddaughter's birthday. Why was he late? Even as a child, I could tell when things weren't right. Something was wrong. My grandfather had missed his granddaughter's birthday. He was always a man who stood by his family, no matter what. He was also the one who had bought my sister her Navy SEAL uniform. That evening, my sister was both cheerful and sad. At every glimmer of light reflecting through the window, she thought her grandfather had arrived. I went out onto the porch to wait for him. Why had it gotten so cold? I was freezing. I wondered if my grandfather was cold too. I couldn't take my eyes off the end of the street. He could arrive at any moment. I hoped he was okay and wouldn't delay any further. Then, as I carefully walked back toward the front door, I heard a sound coming from the backyard. I placed the whistle in my mouth and tiptoed toward the backyard. I saw a silhouette in the darkness. Despite the freezing weather, I had taken off my shoes. I absolutely couldn't make any noise. To be even quieter, I started walking on my tiptoes. I approached the silhouette rummaging through the shed and realized it was a man. I began quietly moving toward the right corner of the shed. Then I slowly stepped inside. As I silently moved closer to the man, I took a deep breath to blow my whistle hard. I pointed my flashlight at the man. As I tried to turn on my flashlight, the man suddenly turned around and... I never lived a life where everything went right. Something was always going wrong. Even in the cases of people we helped, somehow misfortunes would find their way to us. Even when I thought I had done everything right, problems would emerge. Later, I realized that when doing something, we should take each step as if we were facing the worst-case scenario. Because the rosy life we give to children is not real. There are too many variables in life. Even the best plan needs to be prepared for the worst case. I can almost hear you asking, what do you mean? If you walk in a forest thinking you'll never die, a wild animal is bound to catch you. But if you walk as if you could die at any moment in a dark forest, that's when you might see the sun. You must always walk as though a bear or a wolf pack could attack you at any time. If a wild animal saw you from a distance, even the direction of the wind must be calculated. Maybe that wild animal has already caught your scent. Don't run and die tired. Save your strength for the fight. And remember, never approach a wild animal, especially a wild wolf, from behind quietly. Either you'll learn your greatest lesson, or you'll pay for it with your life. Fortunately, I escaped with my greatest lesson. The The lights for the birthday cake had been turned off. Perhaps this was my luck. Or maybe it was a perfect reason for the biggest lesson of my life. As I said, even though the weather was very cold, I had taken off my shoes. I couldn't make any noise while approaching this man. I had to be as silent as possible. I had no idea how a flashlight and a whistle could protect me from a bad man. What I was doing felt completely childish. After all, I was just a kid. Otherwise, this was pure stupidity. I could have gone back and told my dad. But as I said, I was just a kid. If my grandfather found out what I was doing, he would definitely be angry, I whispered to myself. I couldn't see inside the shed clearly, but I could see the man searching for something inside. Even though he thought he was silent, my hearing was sharp. With a whistle in my mouth and a flashlight in my hand, I began to move toward the man on my tiptoes with foolish courage. I chose the right side of the shed to approach because that side was hidden from his view when I entered. I wished the weapons weren't so heavy for a moment. If they weren't, I could have grabbed one and been a hero. Unfortunately, the weapons were too heavy for me at that time. Still, I was a fearless child. Or perhaps a child who was good at hiding his fear. I bent slightly and took a quiet step inside. I needed to blow my whistle loudly so everyone would hear it. I took a deep breath. I was sure the sound of my whistle could be heard 2 blocks away. I aimed my flashlight at the man like it was a weapon. Just as I tried to turn on the flashlight, the man suddenly turned around. And I told you, never ever approach a wild wolf quietly from behind. Calculate even the direction of the wind. Maybe before you saw it, it already caught your scent. Unfortunately, I learned this the hard way. When I felt the wind of the bullet in my left ear, I saw that death could find you at the most unexpected moment. I had confidence in myself, but there was no need to be foolish. I froze and couldn't move. The man froze too, but he recovered faster than I did and took a step toward me. Then he froze again, but I still couldn't move. I hadn't even turned on my flashlight. Who was this man? God. Did he shoot me? I whispered to myself. I felt nothing. Time had stopped. It seemed as if the bullet had grazed my ear. If this was death, everything had happened so quickly. So, what now? Finally, a short time later, a man entered the shed with a gun. The person who entered with a gun was my father. He immediately turned on the lights. The man and I were still frozen. Then the man dropped his gun and suddenly hugged me. What was this strange smell? This man smells strange, I said to my dad. He came closer to us and said just one thing.
Dad?